127 to South Fremantle 14-17, 101. But the Bulldogs won the Colts 10-11, 71 to East Perth 9-10, 64. And a very good evening, everybody, and welcome to our special grand final edition of Sevens Big League. We're going to show you the entire match from go to woe today, so I think rather than talk about the game at this point in time, we shall pick up our commentators John Rogers, Bob Miller and Ken McCauley from the opening bounce.
Just about to start. There's the first bounce down for the 84 grand final. No clean tap. Oh dear, that was green. It's going to be on the young and old, one feels here. Wilson taps the ball along. Rankin overruns it. Richardson slings weight down. Oh, and it's going for young and old all over the place at the moment, into the forward line. Hutton almost. Marshall a shot. It's been touched. It's going to roll free, and there's the first score to Swan Districts. But my word, I am sure we are in for a very, very physical grand final. Waiting on the kick-in. Browning, a little undecided where to go. Now decides to go for distance out on the right half-back flank towards the 50-metre line, but there's been interference. Like interference to Shane Renfrey, and Renfrey from 55 metres out, the opportunity to bring up a goal for Swan Districts. They are behind. 1 point, East Fremantle no score. Renfrey, 55 metres. It's a good long kick, plenty of distance, accuracy not there, and Swan Districts have got 2 points.
Interesting to see how Swans have lined up. We've got Satori at centre half forward. Johns has opened up on the ball.
Very little breeze as Foreman kicks in and finds Browning. Browning in the right full-back pocket. Plenty of action in the opening minutes. Umpire Johnson and ball officiating. Goes long towards the side and finds Kickett. Kickett could be playing on the wing at the moment. You'd never know where some of these players are playing at the start. Graham Kickett goes for the long one, back towards the centre. Plenty of players at Johns trying to have a sweep at the ball, misses it. There go East Fremantle. Over towards the side, a chance for Kerr. East front, play on. Goes over to Taylor. Inside the 50-metre line. There's a chance for Waterson. Oh, he's offline, well offline, and the ball's gone out of play. And there's a bubble at centre half forward.
They've certainly used some unsettling tactics. It's punches.
Oh, they're all in and out there.
And I tell you what, it's not a pushing, shoving match at the moment.
It's TV ringside.
Kevin Taylor was involved in that. Number one there is Roger Kerr for East Fremantle. Don Holmes. It looks like Rance has got the kick on the 25-metre line, coming out towards right centre wing, running free. Chance for Satori. He's got possession of the ball. Well caught by Browning. Chance for Marshall. Hutton tries to go in, tapped on, but the ball is out of bounds. Harding was there as well. My word, a fairly heavy opening.
Yes, and neither side settled down.
Not yet, at all. Alexander in front, got the tap. Stephen Green, Brad Shine with him, good tackle. Through they come. Stephen Green on the bottom. Marshall was going with the ball, and there's a bit of shoving between Shine and Green. Hutton's getting involved now.
One thing you can say, John, is that Swan Districts haven't been caught off guard in this first quarter. They're ready and prepared for it.
Knew they wouldn't. No way they'd be caught off guard a second time. Alexander with the tap. 21 is Harding. Kimberley can't keep it in. And Harding dumped nice and heavily to the ground too.
Throwing on the 25-metre line in Swan's territory. Plenty of action, Alexander and Satori. Those are two big fellows. Satori in front. No kick given, comes to Richardson. Richardson 35 metres out. He swung it over towards the pocket. And the ball is out on the full. No, throw it. Left full forward pocket. Well, Swan's in attack at the moment. Satori with Harding this time. Harding playing in the back pocket. Out it comes to Hutton in towards full forward. Chance for the big fellow Alexander. A little bit slow to get going at the moment. There he's lying on the ball and another bounce back will take place.
What a great effort from Brad Shine, the way he's locked that ball in. He was up against one of the biggest players on the ground, Ron Alexander, but it's Shine, the player that gives his teammates an example to follow.
Still on the 25-metre line. Alexander and Satori. Satori giving the leap and going for the punch. Foreman in front. 10 for Shine. So I think he's kicked the major. Waiting for the all clear. Yes! 4 points to the black and white from the lead of Bradley Shine.
Well, that just gives you an example of Brad Shine. He's sipping what looked like a can of lemonade, but it isn't. It's most probably Sustagen. But Bulldog Shine at his best in this opening 5 minutes of play. Just look at the way he runs through. He nearly bowls the goal umpire over, but this is just the start. John Todd would be wanting because they've been caught napping in the previous 2 finals. So Swans, 1 goal, 2, 8 points. East Fremantle yet to score.
And it would seem that Swans are settling down just that little bit more than East Fremantle are. Bounce down in the centre. Taylor, brick wall stuff. Swans hunting in packs. Langsford, good play. It was Fogarty kicking the ball into the ball line. Hutton!
Hasn't this player benefited from the last week's preliminary final when he was shifted out on the half-forward flank, started to take some grabs? He's just the player Swans need to add variety into their attack.
That's a brilliant mark. Hutton, 35 metres out, directly in front. Second goal to Swans. Looking good at this stage.
Well, magnificent start by Swan Districts. They were the ones that were bowled over by East Fremantle in the second semi, and already we've played close to 5 minutes, I'd say, and Swan Districts doing all the scoring. 2-2, 14, East Fremantle yet to score.
Yes, a good opening by the black and whites, and East Fremantle have to do something in the next few minutes. Alexander against Johns. There goes the ruck duels. Keith Narkle, oh, he's tackled by Alexander, but he's tackled too high. And Skipper Narkle, right in the centre square. He'll go for the long one. 55 metres up towards Harding in front. Can't get it. Holmes through comes Harding. 50-metre defensive line. Boots it back towards the centre. Johns takes the mark. Michael Johns didn't play in last year's grand final. Certainly making sure he plays well in this one. Up back it goes to centre half forward. Fogarty all on his own, and John Fogarty anticipating well from the back. From 35 metres out, we'll have another shot.
Well, a great example of how the players that have played in grand finals before.
They just know where to go, don't they?
Great versatile player, this fellow. There he goes, kicking towards the Subiaco end. That's hit the post.
It's bounced right back into the field of play, and
Play on, is it?
would have been an no, it's not, but it would have been great had it been. So now, Foreman to bring the ball back in. Coming out onto the left half-back flank, Alexander the target. He's got too many to beat, though. Knocked on by Narkle. Rankin into a brick wall. Harding now in defence. Quick hand pass to Stephen Green. Green, a left foot kick, is okay. On the mark taken by Murray Renstead. He goes into the middle of the ground. Not a good kick. A chance now for Wilson. Wilson, the handball to Roger Kerr. Let's see what East Fremantle can get going now. Roger Kerr, his kick's been touched. It's rolling towards the goals. Opportunity, no. Gone begging. As Solon goes in, he's caught. Watterson in. Wilson still.
Solon's kick.
I think Solon's going to get a free kick for a high tackle.
Rather fortunate, if he hadn't been on his knees, he wouldn't have copped that.
So Solon going right down the middle of the ground. Rankin underneath it. So was Fogarty. Kimberley going back. Wake taps it on. That's Skorowski that gets the kick. Alexander trying to get back for it. Can't. Richardson pats it along into the open. And we'll get a kick for a push.
They're getting to the ball first, Swan Districts. They're the ones showing all the initiative.
No one on the mark. That's bad play by East Fremantle. And Richardson's been dropped. They've been called to play on. And the mark being taken, and that's confusion down there because Foreman heard the whistle and thought play should have stopped.
And Kevin Taylor has been reported. The umpire has taken the notebook out, umpire ball. And Brett Hutton loves these fine conditions.
He's already got a goal. 35 metres out, directly in front. Looks okay, it is, and it's all Swan Districts at the 4.5-minute mark.
Yes, well, it's as you say, it's all Swan Districts. They're the ones that are getting to the ball first, and Kevin Taylor on our screen there, he'd be disappointed. Richardson's been given the job of tagging him, and he's already been reported. So obviously he's letting the tactics upset him. and Richardson's enjoying himself. So Swan Districts are 3-3-21. East Fremantle still yet to record a score, and we've played nearly 10 minutes.
Well, Ken Taylor overcome that and come back and play well for his side. Back in the centre. Alexander in there trying to get his side going. Fogarty too. Johns comes out with a boots a long one towards full forward. Hutton's in front of Foreman. With him is Kimberley. Kimberley boots it back towards the square. Marshall can't get it. Into the pocket it goes. Shines there. Marshall again. He's tackled hard. Chance for Hutton holding the ball. Good tackle.
That would have hurt too.
Great tackle put on him there in the last line of defence. Foreman to take it. No, it's not. It's Browning. Out towards Green. And Green in the left full back pocket. Stephen Green steadying the play down now as the blue and whites have to get going. Boots it back towards the wing. Richardson from the back takes the mark.
And Richardson, forward and right centre wing, been a damaging player so far. Long high kick again, Hutton the target, Foreman with him. Hutton a little too early. And Bryce Foreman to take the kick.
Already started to gang up on him too.
Foreman has given the ball across to Christie, who's put it out on the half-back line, but they're not out of trouble yet. Barry Kimberley a chance for a shot. It's a good-looking kick. Oh, last line of defence stuff that was. And if they hadn't got hands to that, it could have been through.
Well, the best defence in the league, East Fremantle. They're under extreme pressure in this first quarter of the grand final.
Foreman bringing the ball in to Shane Ellis. Ellis steadying things down, goes towards half-back. Taylor from behind, Richardson in front, Narkle. Clean bowls Holmes. Knocked on by Brennan. Holmes gets possession. Renstead tries to come through. Can't. Rankin on the bottom. Whoa, Narkle went in. Shoveled off the ground by Ellis. Only as far as Rance though. High kick from Murray Rance. Hutton with the sit, but won't get there in time to stop Foreman taking a good mark.
That'll give him some confidence. He's already in under a lot of pressure on Hutton, having kicked 2 goals.
Bryce Foreman, back pocket. Not many leads offering. Goes towards the half-back line, looking for Ellis, and finding him. Waterson's come right up the ground to half-back, and Rance has followed him. Over it goes to Christie. Christie's long kick to centre half forward. They've got nobody there at the moment. There's a player come in. Taken there by Holt, going to the forward line apparently. Holt goes towards Bennett. With him is Malooly. Into the pocket it goes. Socket on the ground. Is it deliberate? No, the umpire says it's out of play. Thrown in that right full forward pocket.
Taylor and Malooly having a little go because, again, Kevin Taylor made his presence felt.
He needs to concentrate on the ball.
Yes, he does. It was Bennett from behind, but he's interfered with Satori. And Taylor, very unnerved at the moment and not contributing much to his team at all.
Swan Districts have had 7 scoring shots. East Fremantle 0.
Long kick into the centre of the ground. Alexander can't mark. Shine tries to come through. Hand pass to Kiggin. Nowhere to go. Finally gets it away. Renstead with a haircut. Through comes Watterson. David Rankin going for the ball. Bounces kindly for him. Rankin, a high kick into half forward. Watterson underneath that. Knocked away by Rance. A chance for Ellis to Renstead. Renstead, a high kick into the forward line. Bennett goes up and nearly takes a good mark. Good play by Swan Districts. Has spoken. He gave it to Malooly. And from the back, almost the mark. Not paid to Armat, but it's going to be a kick to Shane Ellis.
Shane Ellis on the half-back flank. Oh, going for the hand pass. It's dangerous. It's been missed by Brennan. Backed up by Kimberley. They're going across the ground. In comes Renstead. Good Shepherd. Renstead goes towards the forward line and good mark to Tom Malooly. Got out of play, gave it to Richardson. Swans are doing everything right at the moment. Into the centre it goes, Stephen Green. Oh, shocking kick from Green. It's gone right out on the far side of the ground. Outridge is there, with him is Holt. And the boundary line, it's too close.
Very obvious that Swan Districts are the side that are handling the ball with 1 grab.
East Fremantle are under the sort of pressure that Swans were in the second semi.
Yes, on that half-forward flank. Pickett trying to come inboard. Haven't got many players backing up at the moment. Renstead. The hand pass again to Strides. Langsford's got it. Centre of the ground. Kicks it out towards the flank. Shine. Can't get it, he plays on quickly, well done. Over to Ahmed. Long kick towards full forward, it's a beauty, but it's offline, minus one.
Well, Swan Districts are really playing a mates game. They're backing each other up, they're looking for each other and doing it very well.
It's typical Swan District stuff at the moment, and East Fremantle really don't know what's happening, and they have got to get their act together. Stephen Green from Foreman. Green to kick it. Kick it backward of right wing. Uses the left foot. Don't know that I'd agree with that. Watterson in front, knocked away from him. This is good play by Swans. Fogarty off the ground, into the forward line. Danger time for East Fremantle again. Waite gets the hand pass away to Browning. Browning to Alexander. Can't get there. Johns, a long hand pass, was meant to shine. Stephen Green, close to the boundary line, was pushed and will take the kick.
I thought it was a deliberate handball out of bounds, but must take your hat off to young Renfrey. Took Ron Alexander on in the course of going for the ball.
Without any trouble at all. Stephen Green off the half-back line, up towards the wing. And Swans are absolutely dominating in the air at the moment as Johns takes another.
Johns kicks it towards centre half forward. Black and White's in attack. Browning over the half-back line. Kimberley a chance. Gets it to Marshall. Ducks his head. And he's holding the ball.
Good decision.
Gavin White.
What a great influence Johns is having on the game. They haven't had to use Satori. He's at centre half forward, Swans.
White goes short.
Neesham warming up.
Green to centre half forward. This is where they're breaking down at the moment. There's nobody there. Tony Solon is for Swans. Fogarty's on his own in the centre. Oh, they've got loose men everywhere, the Black and Whites. There's another one, Langsford. Centre of the ground, left puts it towards full forward. Look at that kick, looking for Hutton in front. And get it, Kimberley will back up. Kimberley in the pocket, picks it up well, gives it to Marshall. Here's a chance. Marshall gets around, here's a cut shot. Full points to the Swans.
Well, what a magnificent passage of play. The Swan Districts players can't believe what's happening, and neither can East Fremantle. Marshall, the player that came on last week off the interchange and made such a big difference in the prelim final, but he was given the ball by a fellow who took an awful battering in that second semi, Barry Kimberley, man of the match last week. But Swan Districts, 4 goals, 5-29. East Fremantle yet to open up their account.
16 minutes into the first quarter, and Swans are murdering the game at the moment. As Ahmad tries to come through, holding the ball against him and Kevin Taylor to get the kick. Off he goes. What can East Fremantle get going? Taylor chips it into the forward line. Ineffectual kick. Solon nicely off the half-back line. Here they go again. Out towards right centre wing. They've got all the runners at the moment, Swan Districts, and Richardson just couldn't keep it in.
And John, Tony Solon, one of the poor players last week, right into it today. Every player is on alert.
They have blitzed East Fremantle at the moment. Johns gets yet another tap. Waite caught and lost meterage when he hand passed then. This is Holmes. Left foot kick from him and a grand diving mark to Ahmad.
Everything's crisp. It's just one grab all the time.
They are on fire. Ahmad, lovely long kick into the square. Hutton sets from behind. Oh, looks good.
When you think in the second semi, Swan Districts did not have a winner down the middle. Today, every player all over the grounds on top, and there's Brett Hutton, the leading goal scorer for the season, with a chance to kick his third, and we've only played 18 minutes in this first quarter.
He's kicked his side, second and third goal, and now an opportunity to bring up number 5. Point-blank range. Hutton, no mistake. Swans looking even better.
Well, it most probably brings back memories. Hutton at the moment is reminding me of Laurie Richards in that 69 grand final between East Perth and West Perth. It kicked something like 5 in the first quarter. This fella's got a chance, really confident.
Would you switch Browning back on him?
You'd have to.
Yes, Bryce Foreman. I know he did well in the second semi, but he's just an average footballer. He's having a lot of trouble at the moment. 5-5, and East Fremantle yet to score. Back in the centre, Harding's on the ball. Trying to get their blue and whites going. Down it comes to Kimberley. There they go again. Hutton in front, Foreman from the back. Comes to the ground, Neesham. Can't get his foot the ball. Foreman trying to come through. Here's a chance for Holmes. And he's put through another one. The black and whites can do nothing wrong.
Bob, the black and whites have turned their weakness of the second semi into the greatest strength you could see, because in that centre square, where they were so disorganised in the second semi, it's just all Swan Districts right from the centre bounce. And Donny Holmes, another goal scorer for Swan Districts, and they moved to 6 goals 5, 11 scoring shots. East Fremantle yet to have a shot.
And he robbed Foreman of the ball, just took it virtually out of his hands, and away he went. Centre bounce down. Again, Swans through Johns. This time, Browning to half forward. Back goes Ranson, gets a clip over the ear that time from Alexander. Oh, it was a 1-2. He felt that, but Kimberley takes the kick. Richardson's on the wing. They've got 2 over there. Richardson easily around kick it. That was meant for Don Holmes. Brennan chopped it off. This is Murray Renstead. He gets a quick hand pass to Ellis. Shane Ellis a little undecided. Now goes for his kick into the forward line. Knocked on. Roger Kerr the opportunity. Runs back into trouble. Tries to left foot the ball to Kevin Taylor and does it well.
Well, let's hope Kevin Taylor, one of the experienced players for East Fremantle, gets them back on the road.
The crowd don't like him. Kevin Taylor, short, dreadful kick into the forward line. He appears to have totally lost interest, and I reckon Don Langsford hurt him a moment ago.
I think it is. He's injured.
Kick up towards Satori. Lovely pick up. Hand pass to the backup of Skorowski. Here goes Swans again. As Skorowski unloads a bomb. Hutton nearly got another. Stephen Green off the ground. Brad Shine, well played. Holmes looks good. It is. Oh, are they any good today?
And it's a repeat. That shot of Don Holmes was almost identical to the one that he kicked just a moment ago when he kicked their 6th. So he's kicked their 6th and 7th. And it'd be fair to say that the Sharks are floundering. They just have hardly touched leather. Let's have a look at it. And great work by Brad Shine. The way he's just hit the ball onto his teammate. The goal square unattended. And we'll look at the scoreboard. It's 7 goals 5, 47 Swan Districts. East Fremantle yet to score.
Machine, the well-oiled machine in action at the moment. Murray Renstead trying to kick them into the forward line. There's a chance now. It goes to Taylor. 30 metres out. They've scored their first. 1 point. Well, they've tried everything, the blue and whites, and that's the first score they've made. It was only a minor.
I think the crowd is just stunned by what they've seen.
Bad luck for the crowd at the moment if this continues. I know it's good for Swans, but another good kick from Tom Maluli. Goes out towards Wilson. Oh, he didn't want it. Picked up by Fogarty. They're not going in hard enough. Gavin Outridge at half back. 2 or 3 leads. He's picked out one towards Satori. Satori in front.
Satori is going to get the kick as well. They've been playing in front all day, Swans, and they've been getting the reward. Hutton in front. He's been shoved. Foreman now starting to make errors, and Hutton's confidence would be as high as the grandstand.
Well, you've got to salute Hutton, because he's been a mercurial player during the year. He's kicked 3 goals in this first quarter. We've only played about 23 minutes, but he's been down really on form. Some people say that he's had a shoulder injury, but I think it's for the opposition and the way the ball's delivered.
45 metres out, Hutton. No. Missed. 7-6, 48. We're 1 behind. 23 minutes into the first quarter, and East Fremantle still don't know there's a game on. Foreman out to right half back from behind. Johns down to Armack. They're locking it in. Armack to Skorowski. Skorowski, I think, was called to play on into the 50-metre line. Satori from behind. Neesham to Shine. He'll use the left foot. And he's used it. I think he's going to get a kick if it's not a goal. It's not, and he will.
Well, East Fremantle are falling into the trap.
They're misusing. They're not using vigour. They're just giving away.
They're misusing it. Swan Districts have physically challenged them, and they're right off balance, just like Swans were in that second semi.
Here it is again. There's the kick from Shine. Oh, and wait, far too late. There's the kick from Brad Shine. It's through for another. Swans have got 8.
Brad Shine. He's kicked his second, so Swan Districts have had 4 goal scorers. Holmes has kicked 2, Shine has kicked 2, Hutton has kicked 3, and Marshall 1. A magnificent variety in their attack, and Brad Shine, he came good in the second quarter of last week's preliminary final, and he's not going to stop.
8-6 to 1, 14 shots to 1. I demand a recount. I think of players at the moment, by the blue and whites out there, because black and white jerseys running everywhere. There's a chance as Wilson kicks the blue and whites into attack, and another bubble. A little bit hot under the collar there, the kick where it landed. Colin Watterson.
So Swans have done all this attacking and goal scoring without Murray Rance at centre half forward. Another master move by John Todd.
Colin Watterson, he'd be a good 60 metres out from goal. Kicks it long toward the pocket, looking for Alexander, and takes the mark. The big fellow to make the applause of the crowd. Hasn't had a good start after his great game in the second set.
Wouldn't he have a lot on his mind too, and a really fighting mark, and with a chance to score their first goal.
Yes, if he can kick this towards the city end, might give him confidence and the team. The captain coach lines it up, but what's he done?
Missed.
Oh, he's missed 1 point.
I was just going to say, Noddy, he wouldn't want to miss that goal, because what was left of East Fremantle's morale would go straight down the plug.
And all his young players would have been watching and praying that he didn't miss.
Yeah.
So what a fight they've got on their hands, because Swans are not going to relax.
Oh, no chance in the world. As Maluli kicks to himself and then unloads an absolutely immaculate ball straight to Fogarty, who let it go through his hands, actually. Narkle took his eye off it. Waite goes back in, but Narkle did it well to Kimberley. Kimberley up towards the wing. Richardson, they've got him everywhere. To Brad Shine. Off they go once more. Hutton, perfect lead. And Brad Shine, a magnificent pass.
You've got to ask the question, were they playing dead in the second semi?
No.
They've got to switch.
You've also got to ask the question about getting Foreman off Hutton.
That's right.
Well, the conditions are a big factor too.
He's not Foreman material at the moment, is he? 55 metres out, Hutton. Oh, it's a lovely long kick, but it's not accurate.
Well, his last 2 scoring shots have been points, but Swans completely dominating. 8 goals, 7-55. East Fremantle a miserable 2 points.
Well, he can come now. What can the blue and whites do? Out towards the outer side. There's not many big blokes out there. Shines in it again on the half-forward line. Chance for Brennan. Showing plenty of pace out there. Is he going to get a kick? No. Yes, he is. Brennan on the half-back line outer side. Kicks it long towards the half-forward line. Swans are playing in front at the moment. Narkle takes it away, back towards half-forward. Ellis. Timely mark at the square, and some of these senior players of blue and whites will certainly have to lift their game. Shane Ellis, they keep going to the boundary, Fremantle, and not getting far out there. On the half-back flank, Aldridge can hold it a long time, and he's holding the ball.
I think that Ron Alexander's got to reorganise that defence.
Boy, does he what. As much vaunted East Fremantle defence is nowhere at the moment as Rance goes into the forward line, and that's Bennett.
This player, he kicked 7 goals, 1 in his debut in finals. Big challenge today.
I'd say he's going to suggest he's going to have to work a lot harder today to do the same. 55 metres out, Bennett. Plenty of distance in the kick, but not the accuracy that he would have liked. So, still that elusive goal is not with East Fremantle. They're 3 behinds at the 30-minute mark of the first quarter, trailing Swans who are 8-7.
I wonder if Toddy will say tomorrow whether 1 quarter can win a game for you.
Boy, can they ever. Skorowski now to Neesham. Neesham in turn to Narkle. They're getting so much time at the moment, Swan Districts. Knocked on cleverly by Satori. It's to the 50-metre line. East Fremantle under challenge again. Shine could have been interfered with. Hutton back to Satori. He's off balance. Gets a hand pass into the open spaces. Armat caught. Holmes isn't. Shoots. Scores. Done it again.
Another one.
Well, that's Holmes' 3rd goal, and I think in that passage of play you'll see the difference between the 2 sides.
He's going to give him another kick, I think, is he?
No, the umpires...
Well, he did it last week. Why is he doing it this week?
Well, the difference between the 2 sides, apart from everything going right for Swan Districts, is that Swans are taking possession of the ball. East Fremantle are just tentatively putting their hands out.
I don't think it's an 8-goal breeze. Back in the centre. 9-7 to 3 points in favour of Swans. And what can East Fremantle do to get back in this 1984 grand final? Harding trying to get them going. From the centre goes Taylor. He's going roundabout. Looking for Redstead.
He's fighting again, Taylor.
Another bubble. Taylor's on everything at the moment. As Richardson's got it. Brings it back towards the half-forward line. Over the head of the pack is Browning. Comes inboard to Green. He's doing his share. Stephen Green to half-forward. Taylor's certainly revved up today, but he's doing it the wrong way. Roger Kerr. Oh! Handball to Lanchman, thank you very much, and he's got 3 of them up there. Narkle's one of them. There goes the lead to Holmes. He's kicked 3. Could kick 4. Beautiful kick from Don Holmes, and he's 4th goal.
Well, East Fremantle have fallen into the trap. Let's just salute Swan District's 10 goals in a quarter, the first quarter, and there it is, 10-7 at the siren, 67. East Fremantle, 3 points.
Have a look at Holmes. What a performance by a side.
Well, Swan Districts or East Fremantle, instead of fighting back, are fighting.
Yes.
That's the problem.
They have absolutely shot this game to pieces.
Out the second quarter here in the grand final, and 10-7, a great first quarter by Swans to 3 points by East Fremantle. East Fremantle kicking to the right with the advantage of a light breeze to half-forward. East Fremantle needing something at the moment as Taylor gets it, been in plenty of trouble. Kicks a long one towards full forward, can't bring it around enough, and through for the minor score.
So they're just having all sorts of difficulty finding that big opening.
Tom Maluli, the veteran fullback, he's played a great final round series, goes short to Kimberley, always running on his own, this fellow. Oh, the player deck there in the back pocket. It goes to Rance. Rance is on the half-back line. Undecided. Goes long now with that raking left foot kick to half-forward. Plenty of blue and whites up. No mark. Out it comes to Holmes, to Richardson. The back up from Armat. He's at half-forward. Gathered it in well, the youngster. Swings it down to the pocket. It's good play towards Tory. 30 metres out on the angle. Has put it in towards full forward. 1 point.
Well, one thing that surprised me at quarter time, the captain, coach and Murray Ward have made no changes to that defence.
This is Holt bringing the ball back into play. Shane Ellis is the target, and that's him behind. Ron Alexander in picture a moment ago, a worried man. Ellis off the half-back flank towards right wing. Johns in front. Waterson up. Wilson gone. Kick it emerges. Hand pass to Renstead. Renstead a high kick looking for Wake. He's got up by himself. And Gavin Wake a chance at the, 2-minute mark of the second quarter to bring up East Fremantle's first goal. He hasn't got it yet. Wake, 35 metres out. He's got it now. And East Fremantle have got there first.
Well, thank goodness for that. East Fremantle worked that ball down from their full back line with just a series of short kicks. They've waited a long while to open their account with a goal. And it was left to Wake, the player that was on the end of it. And let's see if East Fremantle can fight back in this second quarter when it looks like the game's already been blown to bits.
Alexander's back on the ball opposed to Johns, just over the 2-minute mark in the second, and the blue and whites need a tremendous quarter. Alexander gets it down, a brutal back up, and it comes from Ellis on the wing to Wilson. Plenty of pace from this fellow. Long kick towards full forward, looking for Bennett or Harding. Got a chance for Kerr, still in play. Thrown in the right full forward pocket. They're applying plenty of pressure of blue and whites, haven't got much cohesion in the forward line. Waterson going to take the ruck knock. No, Harding's there now against Johns. Out it comes to Kimberley, sharked it well. Goes for the line and it's out of play.
So it'll be Wilson tangling with a couple of gentlemen of the law who really aren't making any effort to get out of the road. Wilson's kick raking around the boundary line, had distance but not accuracy. And so 1-5-11 to East Fremantle, 10-8-68 to Swans. Maluli again to bring the ball into play. Just goes short to Rance. There's not a soul within cooey of him.
No discipline or professionalism from East Fremantle.
And Swan's exploiting that as well. That's Skorowski now. Skorowski to left wing. Holmes underneath it. And that's Brennan. Brennan has the ball on the right wing for East Fremantle. Goes long into the forward line. Nice kick. But John's far too big. Harding taps it on. Taylor into the goals. He scores. Neesham's put him down. Boy, has Neesham put him down.
I think there was a bit of play acting as well on that occasion. Kevin Taylor for East Fremantle to get back.
Here it comes. Here it comes again. There's Taylor. Boom. Don't know how much play acting, but they've gotten the goal.
And 2 goals in this opening 4 minutes of play. So East Fremantle starting to work their way back. Swans definitely can't afford to relax. It's East Fremantle 2-5-17. Swan Districts 10-8, 68.
4.5-minute mark of the second. Big crowd here hoping that the blue and whites can come back. Johns gets the thump. Satori. Ellis. Richardson's there with him. Back up now from Taylor, who's concentrating more on the ball. It's a shocking hand pass. Ellis trying to come across. Still on the half-forward line. Oh, brilliant done by Holmes to Shine. Great football, Swans. Taken by Marshall.
Tremendous shepherding too by Barry Kimberley to get Ron Alexander out of the way. There could have been an awful collision on that occasion.
There it is. From Shine to Marshall. He'd be about 40 metres out. Marshall played a great game last week when he came on. He's offline with this one. Won't make the distance. Is it a mark? I think it is, to Bryce Foreman in the last line of defence, and that might give him confidence. Comes out to the member stand flank. Stephen Green. Paddy Shearer kicks. Oh, undecided. Browning. Browning's looking for a lead. There it comes in the centre, and it's taken by Taylor. Taylor gets it to Waterson. Waterson, a long kick towards full forward. Here's a chance. Nobody home for the blue and whites. Great play by Solomon. He's well tackled. Is he holding the ball? No, it's play on.
As Maluli tries to get it out. This is now Outridge. A bit of urgency about East Fremantle at the moment. As Langsford, a long hand pass to Kimberley, waiting patiently. Kimberley puts it into the forward line. Marshall's all by himself. Across comes Browning to try and do something about it, but not before Marshall puts the ball into the forward line. And it's out of bounds on the 50-metre line.
And I feel in this opening 5 minutes, Swan District certainly are lacking urgency in their play. Who could blame them most probably for relaxing? They can't afford.
Right on the 50-metre line. Alexander got the ball down. Tries to burst out. An air shot. Still Alexander battling 3 of them. And it's 68-17, and we've played 6.5 minutes into the second quarter. Again, Alexander got the tap. This is Stephen Green. Back to Browning. Left foot kick from Clinton Browning. Taylor the target. Got it to ground. Joe Armack fumbles. Almost being held. Taylor rushes through. Gavin Wake in front. Shovels the ball out. Watterson uses body well. Long hand pass. Blind one though. It went from Satori to Neesham. Neesham punched away from Narkolo by Brennan. Opportunity now for Rankin. Haven't seen much of him. He's caught. Breaks the tackle. Long kick into the forward line. Kickett goes back. Can't mark. Oh, Darren Bennett knocked his own man down. And it's going to be a kick to Satori. Satori, last line of defence for Swan.
Satori's playing centre half back at the moment, so plenty of switch. Oh, courageous mark by Bill Skorowski.
Dangerous kick by the defender.
Half back flank. The finals expert, Bill Skorowski, kicks it towards the wing. Kimberley battling with Renstead. Alexander comes in to give a hand, so does Richardson, and well played. Steve Richardson gets it back in towards the centre. And a good mark there to Murray Rents. He's now playing at centre half forward. He's taking this one on the wing. Gone short to Kimberley, still running on his own. Christie and Shine. Shine will win this one. Gives it to Marshall. Marshall gets out of the tackle. Kicks it towards half forward. Ellis, a thump. Fremantle not playing much cohesion, but they got out of that one, the blue and whites. Over towards Wake. Wake and Langsford. Gets it up towards the half-forward line to Watterson again. Kicks it in towards the pocket. Chance for Kickett. Bennett having trouble. Holding the ball.
Great play by Maluli, who's playing in closer than a poor relative. And so it's Maluli to bring the ball across to the other side of the ground. It's on the left half-back flank. This is the way Swan switch play. Measham finds Rance, blinded by the sun a bit, but he's controlled the ball. Left wing to left half forward from Murray Rance. Opportunity for Marshall. With him was Christie. Boundary line too close for everybody. And Brad Shine slipped and kicked it out of bounds.
We've just seen the effect that that first quarter onslaughts had on the East Fremantle players. Just not awake to the switch from Tom Maluli.
Okay, as Brennan comes to the right wing. Ahmed goes back. This is Murray Renstead. Long kick from Renstead. Bennett the target. Uses body well to get Maluli out of the road.
He's a big, strong player. He's capable of taking strong marks, and he's a straight kick.
Here it is.
Great use of the body. They were both in that.
Yep. So Bennett now from 25, 30 metres out. And East Fremantle desperately need a score. It's a good-looking kick from Bennett. But East Fremantle got their third.
Yes, and East Fremantle are the side that are doing all the attacking in this second quarter. We've played 10 minutes, and they've kicked 3 goals, 2 for the quarter. Swan Districts have been restricted to 1 point. But they were faced in a very desperate situation at quarter time, East Fremantle. They were trailing by close to 11 goals, and they must keep pressing on.
That young Daryl Bennett. There's the breeze going towards the right or the western end.
John Todd must be aware of East Fremantle's attacking potential because Rance is back at centre half back.
Holmes gets it out. Rankin. Back it comes towards the forward line. Chance for Watterson. In the back, I think, to Colin Watterson. And he's just over the centre square, about a good 60 metres out. Oh, a long kick from Watterson, a beautiful kick from Watterson, 60 to 65 metres, and perhaps that will boost the blue and white Sharks.
Well, the blue and whites are repeating what Swan Districts did in that first quarter. The breeze, they're kicking with the breeze, and they're doing all the attacking, as we've said, and Watterson kicks his first. And that's their 4th goal for the quarter. And so East Fremantle's score looks a lot better. They're 4 goals, 5-29. The Swan District's 10-8, 68. And we've played 11 minutes in the second quarter.
So it's looking a little healthier for East Fremantle, but they are really like the boy with a barrow at the moment. Alexander, Holmes though for the Swan Districts. Taylor tries to emerge. Roger Kerr, he's got Armat and Holmes to try and beat. Going to be hard. Brennan tried to come through. Holmes concentrated on the ball. Marshall off the ground. Browning towards the boundary line. Holmes gets there first. Keeps it in. And his hand pass to Kimberley was just over the line.
Well, I'd imagine that John Todd would be employing his runner to get around to tell all his charges to start to concentrate again.
Nolan about to come on.
Nolan, an interchange. Alexander from behind that bounced off Satori's head to Holmes. High kick into the forward line. Oh, Brad Shine. What courage, what superb courage.
Why didn't Holt go and try and mark that ball? He didn't want to know anything about it.
You're right, you're dead right. High kick into the forward line. Knocked away from Johns. Play on. Foreman into the open. But this is Narkle for Swan Districts, and he's happy to see it over the line on the 50-metre line. 68 plays, 29, 12 and a half minutes, second quarter.
Hold off. Nolan on. That half-back line. Ellis coming in. Does it well. Gets it back towards the centre. Wilson in front. Can't get it. Armat. And it comes towards the flank. Chance for Bill Skorowski's tackled. Lie on. Or is it hard to kick? In the back, apparently.
This is the trouble. Kevin Taylor on that occasion should have been penalised, but because he's had a lot to say to the umpire, they're not his friend.
Bill Skorowski. Rounding in front, takes the mark or the push, whatever you like. Must come back and take his kick.
A lot more life coming into this East Fremantle side. The players are starting to run.
There's the mark, and he's held as he come down. Eyes on the ball all the way, Clint Browning. As I said, some of these senior players have certainly got to help the youngsters along. Goes to half forward, not a good kick over the head of the pack. Selwyn goes for the boundary. Is it a kick? No, it's a throw-in, said the umpire.
He had nowhere to go on that occasion.
Wasn't deliberate. And that throw-in about 35 metres out from the blue and white goal. Alexander's come in. Satori gets it. Holmes around the net. Oh, holding the ball.
I'll tell you what, Swan Districts have got to get a lot hungrier. They've gone off the boil.
And Holmes doesn't like it, but Graham Pickett is going to take the kick from about 50 metres out.
That's a good comment. They've let, I don't know whether they obviously wouldn't have thought they had the game won at quarter time, but there's an urgency about East Fremantle they certainly didn't have in the first quarter, and there's no reason for it.
Graham Pickett just inside the 50-metre line. If he kicks this one, it'll be valuable. Long kick towards it. Subiaco in. It's a good kick. Kick it. Full points.
Well, the fifth goal to East Fremantle in this second quarter. They couldn't kick one in the first, and we've played only 15 minutes. So all of a sudden, a tremendous fight back being staged by East Fremantle. They've started to concentrate on the ball. The players have naturally settled down in the second quarter. A lot of players haven't played in a grand final.
What about the psychological advantage of the breeze?
I don't know that it's that much. What do you think?
I don't think so. I think it's Swan District's attitudes off the boil.
Nolan on the ball, doesn't get the tap. Neesham to Fogarty, and that was from Satori to half forward. Shine! Brilliant. He's having a game and a half today.
He won the medal last year.
One of the littlest fellas on the
Here's
ground.
the mark again.
Magnificent use of the body.
Brad Shine. Kick didn't match the mark. It's into the forward line though. Knocked away from Marshall.
You've got to take your hat off to the defence too. Their decision not to move anybody's paid off because they've all started to perform.
Johns gets the tap. This is Barry Kimberley. Has a quick kick towards full forward. Hutton lurks dangerously. Knocked away from him. Harding, you'll only get one grab at it. He's got it. Paul Harding, he's going to lose it if he's not careful. Brad Shine's with him. Wilson tries to come through. Harding's going to have to mop up. He's run into a brick wall though. Got the hand pass away. Skorowski to Neesham. Now it's Swan's turn to mount as Kimberley's available on the far side of the ground. Rankin closing, but not before Kimberley puts the ball into the forward line. Marshall inside, 25 metres. He shrugs up the tackle, hooks and scores. Good play.
That goal was the result of Paul Harding forgetting that he hasn't played football for quite a few weeks. He's got carried away, tried to run the ball too much. He's overdone it, and it's let Swan Districts in together with their switch in play again. Barry Kimberley on that far side is lurking on his own. Magnificent play, and I thought Marshall could have handballed this ball to his teammate as well.
No talking, 11-8 to 5-5 at the 16.5-minute mark of the second. In favour of Swan Districts. Back in the centre, Satori's in there. Neesham, the experienced players now as Taylor gets it out. Wake appealing for the kick, but he's not going to get it. Langsford, that's the third kick he's had with his left foot. Kicked it to half forward. Mark being paid, yes it has, to George Crystal. He's on the 50-metre defensive line. A little bit unsure where to go, but he must come up the centre. He's looking for leads on the outside.
Yeah, he's got players too.
He's got to go right across the ground of Ellis. It comes off. Back up quickly from Green. Stephen Green goes to half forward. Kick it over the top, can't get it. Chance for Winstead. Taylor slipped over at the wrong time. Skorowski pushes it out to kick it. It's still only about 40 metres out. The umpire letting it go. Chance for Rankin. Rankin's clear. Got plenty of time to kick a high one towards full forward. They're jostling. It's a mark to Bennett.
Yeah.
It is. Darren Bennett about 30 metres out.
Well, they're slowly getting right back into this game, and from a statistic point of view, goals kicked and goals kicked against, there's very little in between these two sides, and Darren Bennett, the player that was a sensation in that second semi, with a chance to kick his second.
Yeah, the big 6'5" youngster right in front has kicked another goal.
And East Fremantle's sixth for the quarter. We've played just 18 minutes. So East Fremantle have improved their situation tremendously. They're 6 goals, 5-41. All scored those goals in this quarter. Swan Districts 11-8-74. So Swan Districts still lead by a margin of 27 points, but they'll want to stretch that by half-time.
Their centre line's come good, Ken.
Yeah. Interesting that if Swans hadn't have scored that goal a moment ago through Marshall, it would have been 6-10, a remarkable comeback. So it'll be Satori and Nolan. Satori with the tap. Neesham can't get his side going. Nolan tries to pat it along. Goes out through the back door, but not before the umpire had blown his whistle.
If East Fremantle overtake Swans, what an irony. They've been slow starters. This time they've got the best start in the world.
Satori with the tap, but this is Rankin, a high kick to half forward. Watterson came out, misjudged it, has to try and go back in, thumped it into the open. Chance for East Fremantle now, kick it caught, got the hand pass to Wilson, he can have a shot, oh dear, off the side of his foot. The goal then would have been very handy.
Well, that was a sign of a player that has yet to settle down in this grand final. He was on his own. His teammates should have been talking to him. He just blazed away.
And again, Maluli kicks the ball to himself and gains that extra valuable meterage, and it's a lovely long kick. Across comes Barry Kimberley. Love the way they switched that play. Kimberley to the half-forward line. Chance for Christie. Hutton out the back door. Marshall caught to Narkle, who's not. Narkle to the 25-metre line, and a good mark in defence to Foreman.
He's taking the punt, he's going for his marks, and it's coming off.
Foreman's come right across the ground towards a half-back line. It's a good mark to Stirrett's on the ground now, apparently one of the reserves. Stirrett on the half-back flank. A lot of these players have lifted their game for the Sharks. Renstead, who's playing on the half-forward flank now, kicks it up to Taylor. He's got to go round on that left foot, but his handball it in ball. Oh, took his eye off the ball.
Yeah.
Wilson, but Lully, no trouble in kicking it down to Neesham.
Oh, that was so blatant, wasn't it? Yes. They had their head up, wondering who was going to come in at him, and completely overran the ball. Neesham, left centre wing, to half forward. Brennan goes back and takes a beauty. That would have rattled his back up a bit as Brad Shine crashed into it. Brennan from right half back. A high kick. Watterson the target. He's caught behind. Thumps it on cleverly. Now a chance for Wilson. It bounces better for him. He's into the open space. 55 metres out. Takes a bit more care with the kick. Alexander left foot. Oh, he was pulled off the kick just as he went to have it.
Well, what magnificent play from Watterson. You know, if he can't mark the ball, he'll hit it into the open space for those runners.
Believe it or not, East Fremantle are back in this game. As Maluli goes short to Skorowski. Skorowski, oh, pops a hand pass high. Brick wall stuff. Too long for Armac. But I think that's the first error I've seen Swans make.
Well, what a change that's come over the game. They're just playing Swan Districts. Taylor's in a lot of trouble there with the leg, and East Fremantle can't afford to have him injured because he is one of the players that's got them back into the game.
Okay, so Watterson now will kick from more 50 metres out, 49 metres out. The distance shouldn't bother him. There it goes. Long, high kick. It's off to the side. No, it's not. It is. The reason I call it like that is because Alexander normally just clapped that one and ran through, and the foot had scored a goal.
Trying to kid the goal umpire.
Yeah.
Neesham's got it. Boots it out to Kimberley. Kimberley's at last got a man on him out there, but he takes a mark. Well done. Kimberley beats it towards half forward. Hutton's come out there at the moment. Foreman's in front. Mark McCabe.
What a comeback by Foreman.
That looked like a mark from here for sure.
There are two players that certainly haven't stopped being intense, and there Shine.
Well, he juggled it, dropped it at the last second. Apparently, the umpire said he didn't hold it long enough. Back come East Fremantle towards the centre. Neesham's in front.
The two players I want to mention, Shine and Kimberley, they're still going like they were in that first quarter.
Yep.
Neesham goes out towards the flank. Brett Hutton's out there, and he's about 65 metres out on the right half forward flank out of side. And what's he done? He's kicked it out of bounds.
That's the sin in football. And once again, another sign that the Swan District side have relaxed in concentration.
What amazing. Foreman did that well to get it back. Ball now to the centre of the ground. Neesham knocked on by Watterson, but only as far as Fogarty. Fogarty out of trouble. Langsford to Rance. Ranston, Neesham, this is good backup play from Swans. Neesham in and out of trouble, called the play on. There's a big long kick back into the forward line. Opportunity for Kickett. He's got around Satori. Lobs it into the forward line and Taylor's all by himself.
One pass becoming, I'm starting to realise that maybe it was the worst thing that could have happened to Swan Districts in the first quarter to start so brilliantly, because they've gone bye-byes.
Gee, they have at the moment. Well, they appear to have anyway. 6-8 to 11-8. 5 goals the difference. Still a handy lead in the final, but the way East Fremantle are playing, they could close that. Goal here would be handy. Long kick. He's put it through. And East Fremantle have got number 7.
So what a magnificent quarter of football. So that breeze out there, although it doesn't seem much to us, must be a big part in the game, because East Fremantle, kicking with it, have now kicked 7 goals, 5 for the quarter. They could only manage 3 points in the first, and Swan Districts going into it have only managed 1-1. John Todd obviously very worried about what he's seen.
I'm in favour of Swans. We're coming up to the 25-minute mark. John's trying to get the tap taken away by Nolan. Neesham's in there battling too, a scramble in that centre circle. Sock it off the ground towards half forward. That's the way the blue and whites are going at the moment. Wilson, chance for Taylor. He's wrong-footed there. He'll have to come around. He's battling there. He's going to be shepherded by Rinstead. Oh, it was a good shepherd too, and the ball's got out of play.
And what clever play from Kevin Taylor. It's his kick. He's obviously carrying a leg, but what shrewd performance from him. And he kept his body right behind the ball and the opposition just interfered.
I've got no idea how Taylor got the kick, because Wilson came in and pushed, I think, Skorowski in the middle of the back, which caused Skorowski to fall straight into Taylor.
Well,
and the umpire missed it.
He's just outside the 50-metre line.
Unbelievable. He pushed Skorowski into Taylor.
Kevin Taylor will have the kick from just outside the 50-metre line. There's that long raking left foot kick, but it's offline. Oh, he's pulled it out of play.
So East Fremantle, a magnificent fight back.
You watch this. Boom, straight into him.
He was legged, I think, by the look of it.
No,
I agree with you, he was pushed.
Armat was pushed straight into him. Anyway, play goes on. Chance for Richardson, who's been quiet since quarter time. We're in the time-on period of the second quarter, actually, and it's 74 to 50. Not much in it. As through comes Kimberley, shrugs off the tackle, fires the ball into the forward line. Ratshine, courage, lost it that time. Christie gone down. Oh! And that could have almost been in danger against Shane Ellis.
What magnificent recovery from Brad Shine.
Like a panther, he was straight back into it. Foreman gets a big tap away. Narkle goes to ground. This allows Rankin to use his left foot to get out of trouble. Pops the ball up towards the wing. This is Sterrett. Sterrett rifles the ball into half forward, but only as far as Neesham.
So East Fremantle only trail by 4 goals.
Neesham towards the centre. They're making mistakes now. The black and whites are in the dust pack in the centre. Picked up by Rinstead. Away he goes to half forward. Oh, not a good pick. Skorowski again. Back to Neesham. Experience of some of the Swans players. Neesham at half back. Hutton's come right out to take this one, just about on left centre wing. He's still playing at full forward. He's a long way out. Drives it back into centre half forward. Ellis is there. A little bit of jostling. Oh, Ellis has paid the mark. Gives it to Waite. And East Fremantle score again before the siren. Taylor in front. Chance for Wilson. There he goes. 45 metres. Up to the 25-metre line. He steadies. And he's put it through. Great bit of play, Peter Wilson.
Well, Peter Wilson will feel very good after that, because we saw him on a couple of occasions during this second quarter where he didn't commit himself, but he realised that he's got to get back to desperate football. Great play again. And East Fremantle, a remarkable comeback, have scored 8 goals, 5 for this quarter. A magnificent exhibition, and this game is up for grabs. It's 74 Swan Districts, 56 East Fremantle, and we've played 28 minutes.
Unbelievable. You could have got any money on East Fremantle you wanted at quarter time, and they're right back in the game. 56 to 74. Johns versus Nolan. Nolan over the top. Johns gets a tap. Rankin shovels it forward. Sterrett now with the left foot. It's starting to happen a bit for them. They've all tripped over. Bennett into an open goal, shoots and pops it through again.
We can't believe what we're seeing. It's just remarkable.
This is unbelievable.
And and that's Bennett's third goal for the game.
Rankin's got on top of that. A lot coming from him.
The ball is just getting out of that centre square with the ease that Swan District's had, and Bennett makes no mistake about it. So a magnificent quarter. 8 goals, or 9 goals for this quarter, each Fremantle, and Swans kicked 10 with the breeze in the first.
28-minute mark, and the centre line of East Fremantle, and getting the ball out of the centre. Rankin's well on top of Narkle at the moment. Well, the big crowd are loving it. Well, the breeze has certainly played an important part of it. The flags are hanging pretty loose over there at the moment because all the scoring's been done to the right. And that's the western end of the ground. Nolan's in there against Johns. Not much time to go in the second quarter. Ellis puts it to centre half forward. Jostle there between 2 or 3 players. Waterson's in there. Off the ground towards a pocket. Bennett. He's got no backup at the moment, Bennett. There's one now. Wilson. Well blocked. The kick off the ground will go to Nolan. Well, the breaks are coming the blue and white's way at the moment, which they didn't have early. There's his kick to half forward. Alexander's coming in. Flies high, it's thumped away. Oh, looked like holding the ball, but Kimberley's got it. Boots the black and whites out of trouble.
Goes into the centre of the ground. That's a fine diving mark for Bryce Foreman.
As he picked his game up, a superb fight back from him at full back.
Foreman putting the ball back into the forward line for East Fremantle. They all launch. And Darren Bennett interfered with Maluli, and Maluli will take a kick.
Swan District breathe a sigh of relief.
Yes, the siren during the first half of football. What a game. Swans 11-8-74. East Fremantle 9-8-62.
The first half of football, and what an incredible half it was, with Swan District bolting in the first quarter. As you can see, 10-7-67 to East Fremantle, 3 solitary behinds. But with the breeze, the Sharks turned it on in the second term, and they were just 12 points behind Swan Districts at the long interval. Let's rejoin our commentators at the start of the third quarter.
Well, 2 goals of difference at the start of the third quarter. Bounce favours Swans, but over the top went Nolan. This is Langston for Swan Districts. Up to their half-forward line. Holmes in the right spot, knocked it on. Out comes Marshall. Marshall, good grab. Hand pass to the wrong man. Wake interrupted it well. Wake's caught. Ball to play on. Renfrey tries to come through. The hand pass is off to Foreman. Given to him by Brennan. And East Fremantle's defence under pressure early.
What a vital quarter for Swan Districts.
There's the breeze.
Kicking with that breeze.
So, on the 50-metre line. Nolan over the top, straight to Holmes. He gave it out to Fogarty. Fogarty in turn to Langsford. Langsford can have a shot. It's a good one. And Swans have opened their 12th inside a minute of the third quarter.
Yes, well, when we look back into that first quarter, Swan Districts bounced out from the blocks, and they've started again in that fashion. And this has been the scoring end. Something like 9 goals from each Fremantle and 10 from Swan Districts in the first, so 19 goals. This one included is 20 have been scored with that breeze.
12-8 to 9-8. 2-minute mark coming up in this vital third quarter. Nolan's on the ball. Goes to Johns. Stephen Green. Rance playing back at centre half back. Skorowski backs up. The left of the down the other end, just about void of players at the moment as Browning takes up one. He's got the lead from Alexander. He takes the good mark. Waterson it is. Waterson come right up to the centre square to take this one, and he's played a very prominent part in that second quarter. Drives it down towards a half-forward flank. Over the back is Outridge. Gavin Outridge does it well to Kimberley. Always on his own, this fellow. Kicks towards Shine. Shine gets in front, but Wake gets the mark or the kick.
Wake will take the kick off the right half-back flank. Comes into the centre of the ground looking for Stephen Green. Green is off. He's just backward of the wing. He's got Taylor loose on the wing, who drops the mark. But he's got time to recover. Shows the ball to 2 or 3 of them. Gee, ran his full measure and earned when he gave the ball inaccurately to Don Holmes. Too much, Kevin Taylor, that time.
He's disappointed with himself.
Holmes, backward of centre, long kick into the forward line, Hutton almost. This is Brad Shine, danger when he's got the ball. He'll shoot with the left foot. It's over the pack, rolling free, it's through.
the back pocket. Brad Shine, he was one of about 3 players in the second quarter when Swans faded out and kept going. He was a brilliant first quarter, and he started off again in this third quarter. He's kicked 3 goals. He kicked their first, 8th and 13th, and he reserves his best performances for grand finals. The Simpson medalist last year. People say he lacks pace, but he's got tremendous body movement, and there's that open square. So Swans, 2 goals on the board in the first 3 minutes of play in this all-important third quarter.
13-8 to 9-8 in favour of Swans. Nolan against Johns. Johns gets the tap. Taken by Rankin, who didn't look where he's kicking, and Rance once again playing in front of his opponent. Murray Rance, likened to that star of the 60s, Ken Bagley. Long raking left foot kick. It's a beauty right up towards the forward area. Plenty of players up. Marshall comes out with it. Can't get his foot to the ball. Browning, chance for Holmes. Looked like a kick there, but play on out. It comes to the square. Narkle taps it over the back. Backed up by Brennan. Oh, has he kicked it out on the full? No, it's a throw-in.
We saw where David Rankin had a big influence on East Fremantle's fight back. He got well on top of Narkle in that second quarter.
So Nolan and Satori. Satori over the back and shepherded well to enable Fogarty to take the ball. Bounced kindly for Wake. He gave it to Ellis. Ellison turned to Renstead. Renstead to Kevin Taylor. He's through. He's off and running. Long kick from Taylor into the forward lane. Almost a mark to Solon. Back goes Maluli though to mop up well. He's going to chip it out wide and look there for Outridge. Outridge off the right half back flank. That was a very well executed pass to Langsford. Langsford in turn to Fogarty, who's caught. The kick's going to be okay though. Narkle's got it. He's in and out of trouble. Renstead a chance now to get something going, but Narkle went back to try and retrieve the situation.
An interesting duel down there. Swans are using Tony Solon in the back pocket opposed to Ron Alexander.
Nolan and Satori. Satori over the top. Nolan weighted down. Narkle, high kick. Brennan, ooh, that'll hurt him. And they're allowed to play on.
He did pay the mark.
You can't cancel a mark, so that obviously the player's got to take it.
Michael Brennan, the 19-year-old half-back flanker, doing pretty well. Puts it out to Nolan. Interchange player came on, place of Holt. Kicks it to half forward. Kick it in front. Stir it in there. Outridge. Kicks it back towards the centre. Green in front. Can he keep it in front? He can. Stephen Green puts it in towards half forward, and that's a good mark to Taylor.
Nobody on him. He was all on his own.
Oh, he looked as though he's trying to play on.
Well,
he's going to get 15 metres.
I reckon he was going to play on.
He certainly was.
So I didn't think so.
He was just off balance, apparently.
He knew he was within scoring distance.
Fair enough. 35 metres out, Kevin Taylor. They're 4 goals behind the blue and whites. They need a goal. Towards the city end, Kevin Taylor has kicked 2. Plenty of time with this one. Comes in, swings it in, no mistake about this one, and a welcome major to the Sharks.
And Kevin Taylor, he's kicked 3 for the match so far after a very dismal first quarter where he was more interested in boxing and doing all sorts of things other than playing football. Has kicked a really valuable goal for East Fremantle into this breeze. As I said, there's only been a couple of goals scored from both sides, so Swan Districts 13-8, East Fremantle 10-8.
18 points the difference at the 7-minute mark. Nolan got the tap. Langsford battling in the middle there. Sterrett is as well, number 17 for East Fremantle.
We saw in that second quarter and first just how important it is to get dominance in that centre square.
Again, they go up. Renfrey missed it. A chance for Renstead. He's going to kick from the right wing into half forward. And that mark has been paid to Outridge. Good grab.
And a solid player.
Gavin Outridge. Oh, I don't know about that one. I'd say Stephen Green should be too fast for Satori. If he can pick it up, that is. Won't come up for him. Satori pressing him hard. Hand pass to Nolan. Nolan back to Green. Green a long kick into the forward line. Taylor in front. He's off. He'll run into an open goal. Have a shot. It's coming back and it's through. He's got it. Whoa.
What a game.
And it's on again.
for Kevin Taylor. A marvellous player. He's played some magnificent state football, and there he is. He's kicked 4 goals. 4 goals for the Blue and Whites. A magnificent mark, and he certainly was off on that occasion. And a magnificent goal. So Swan Districts have kicked 2 in this quarter. Each Fremantle have kicked 2 against. And what a game we've got on our hands. 86 Swan Districts plays 74 each Fremantle.
Nolan and Johns. Nolan gets it down. They're getting it out of the centre of the Blue and Whites. Wilson's there. So it's Renstead and Langsford. Shine. The backup from Langsford. Doesn't waste time. Puts his foot to the ball to the pocket. Christie in front. Showing plenty of pace, George Christie. Back to the half-back line to Nolan. Trying to get his kick and smothered. Goes towards the wing again. In it comes towards Fogarty. Ellis. Fogarty. Fogarty.
How on earth Nolan couldn't have got a kick then? He was pushed about 20 metres as he went to have a go. Fogarty with the ball. In looking for Marshall. Straight through his hands. A chance for Caton. No one to give it to. Back goes Marshall, trying to barge his way through, but the East Fremantle offence having none of it.
And an excellent decision. He put his head down and wasn't interested in getting rid of it.
Browning going short. This is Rankin. David Rankin, a high kick, back out towards the wing. Ball running free. Johns caught. Shane Ellis pushed it on nicely into the park of Renstead. He's playing better. Renstead into the open spaces. Taylor just couldn't run onto it as Murray Rance came across.
Geez, I'd be thinking of putting Peter Satori on the ball in the ruck.
Yep. There's the East Fremantle dugout. Message is about to fly out all over the place. Roger Kerr sitting down there. Sterrett from behind. But it's Langsford who puts the ball up high. Holmes waits, stumped away in defence. Ball going to fall kindly for East Fremantle. Kicks a shocker. He's going to get another chance though, Sterrett. This is Green. Green out wide into the park with the pacey Wilson. He waits, taps it into the open. It won't bounce. Well done by Outridge. Outridge chips a short one straight to Kimberley, and Swan's temporarily out of trouble.
Playing well, Gavin Outridge in the back line. It comes up towards Mark. Yes, it must be a mark.
Well, Browning's the player in the second semi that had it all over Satori. I'd like to see Satori on the ball.
Oh, he gives it to Wake, which is dangerous. Wake finally gets a hurried kick away. Picked up by Holmes. Goes to the pocket. They got lead. Swans over to Hutton. That was a mistake by East Fremantle. Marshall waiting. Over the head and out of play.
Well, Marshall in this quarter has dropped a couple of marks, and it's not a good sign for the Swan District's attack.
Well, when you get a mark at centre half back, you don't usually handball to a player that's flat-footed. Right next to the point post. Satori's in there. Ellis. Oh, close to the line. Out on the full.
Hates himself for that.
So we've played 11 minutes in this third quarter, and it's Swan Districts 86, East Fremantle 74.
The 251 games. Swan skipper will take it to about 60 metres out. Torpedo punt kick. It goes into the square looking for Hutton. Makes a leap. And it's a free kick, I'd say, to East Fremantle.
Actually, that ball had cleared the pack, you know, and was
box on.
through for a goal, and Hutton's having a bit of a go with Ellis.
The 2 number 10s.
Lucky the notebook didn't come out.
And Foreman as well, and Browning as well. It looks like the interchange. Marshall coming off, yeah, he's paying the penalty for dropping those marks, and Armat going back on the ground. As Taylor's given away a kick to Skorowski, he wants to settle down. Skorowski, a high kick. Armat sets in front. Nolan though.
See where he kicked that ball to one of the smallest players on the ground, and there was 4 East Fremantle defenders around him.
Wilson, whoa! Langsford right on him. Wilson couldn't care less. He's playing inspired footy at the moment. He can keep going, keep running in towards the 50-metre line. Now unloads a bomb. Long kick into the forward line. And gee, Solon had to go back to get a hand of that.
And what a magnificent effort from East Fremantle to come back from where they were at quarter time. I tell you what, they're going to be hard to toss.
Well, he heard you, John, because he kept running.
Did he ever? 2 goals down. Alexander goes for the tap. They're all standing back, the Swans players now, as Alexander is grovelling on the bottom, and they've got the ball well and truly in their forward line.
2 goals the difference.
Interesting to see what the effect of 3 games has on Swans.
13-minute mark coming up. It's still on the half-forward flank. Johns gets it out to Richardson, who's been quiet since quarter time, making mistakes. Picked up by Renstead, in towards full forward. It's offline, through for the minus.
No, Swan's kick.
Yes, it'll go to Tom Maluli, the veteran fullback, that last line of defence. He's got no leads. He just goes wide to that outer flank. Skorowski there, courageous mark again.
And a solid performer.
He certainly is. Bill Skorowski, half-back flank outer side, goes to the wing, looking for Satori. He's in front but is thumped away. Don Holmes, got no one to give it to. Oh, play on, says the umpire. As the ball goes back towards half-forward, looking for Hutton, with him as Foreman. Both having trouble. Fogarty backs up. It's on the 50-metre line. Gets it to Kimberley. 35 metres out from Kimberley. Has put it through for the minor score.
Well, Swans are going to have to capitalise on those scoring opportunities with a fairly strong breeze.
Neesham warming up to come on the ground.
Holt's come on for East Fremantle.
Nolan is off for East Fremantle. And it'll be Rankin to bring the ball back into play. A high kick. Alexander the target. Knocked away. Hand pass back to Alexander. He goes long to Foreman, who will just keep it in. He's got a player loose in Stephen Green. Green from the wing to half forward. Oh, Wilson. How's he going at the moment? Gets the hand pass inboard. This is Waterson. He can steady. Shoot. It looks okay. Oh, and it's nice and close now.
Well, what a magnificent piece of play, but right from the full back line where they kept control of the ball all the time. And Bryce Foreman, a beautiful pass. And Wilson, a player that has come from pulling out on a couple of occasions in that second quarter, and he's redeemed himself. And Waterson, a very valuable player in East Fremantle's resurgence into this grand final.
This typical grand final, 15-minute mark, 13-9 to 12-8, 7 points of difference in favour of the black and whites as Neesham comes back on the ground.
Richardson off.
And the big crowd loving every moment of it. Alexander's back on the ball. Gets the hit out, goes to Stephen Green. There he goes again, the dasher. Wilson looking for half forward. Oh, there's 2 minutes, they spoil each other. Kickett comes out with it, 30 metres out, trying to get around, does so. Has a putt shot towards goal. 1 point the difference.
Well, magnificent football. Again, Wilson was involved, but they're getting the ball out of that centre square, East Fremantle, with so much ease, and they've made a mockery of this breeze. Have a look at the recovery on Kickett. He was nearly knocked out, kept his eyes on the ball, evaded a number of tackles, and he's kicked East Fremantle's 4th goal into this breeze, and we've played 16 minutes in the all-important third quarter.
Unbelievable game. 1 goal, 1 point the difference. 86 to 87. Alexander into the air. Neesham trying to do something about it. Hand pass out. Johns tries to tap it on. Renstead on the bottom of that, grovelling for the ball. Brennan is there as well.
And they're the freshest side, East Fremantle, and they're kicking the ball into those open spaces. They've got the legs.
Well, I have at the moment anyway, Alexander. But this time it was Satori. But the kick is not good. Nolan to Ellis. Ellis out wide. Wilson again. There. Oh, don't be silly, son. Just play football. The crowd urges. Wilson off the half-back flank. Goes short. It was close, but it's okay. Brennan with it now. Brennan from half-back to the wing. That's Rance. East Fremantle players got underneath the ball. Murray Rance on left centre wing, going to put Swans into attack.
And he does it with a good kick towards a half-forward line, but they're playing in front now, and they're getting the marks. George Christie.
Disorganised forward line at the moment. It's congested, playing right into the hands of the East Fremantle defence, and Swans aren't moving the ball in quick enough.
1 point the difference, 17.5-minute mark coming up in the third. George Christie, the back pocket player. He must use long kicks, and that's just what he does towards the wing. Plenty of black and whites there, and the mark's played to Johns.
I just can't penetrate that half-forward line, Swans.
Yeah, got to get over there.
Michael Johns, a long kick into the forward area, looking for Hutton. Alexander backs up like a rover. Now it goes to flank to Rankin. He goes for the boundary line, looking for Wilson again. He's at the back this time, can't get it. Neesham backs up. He's under pressure and gives it to Hutton. Hutton in the left full forward pocket.
That's what East Fremantle are doing. They're
There's
forcing
John Todd.
Swan Districts out wide, and they're ganging up on Hutton. That's one of the few times since the first quarter that he's got out on his own, and he's on a very acute angle.
Just inside the 50-metre mark, right on the line in the left full forward pocket. This would be a great goal if he kicked it. Swung it in towards full forward. The umpire having a good look. It is a great goal.
Well,
From the boot of Brent Hutton.
His fourth goal for the game, and it could be one of the most crucial that's been kicked, because East Fremantle were taking control into the breeze. Now Swan Districts have kicked 3-1. Let's have a look at it. A magnificent goal. The leading goal scorer in the competition. So at the moment, Swan Districts 14-9-93, East Fremantle 13-8-86. The margin of 7 points in favour of the Swan District side.
19 minutes into the third quarter. Nothing in it. Alexander got the tap. No Rovers to back it up though. Narkle's kick was smothered. This is Taylor. They're onto him. Taylor waiting for the kick that wasn't coming. Neesham, well done to Fogarty. Fogarty, a high kick. Hutton's by himself and he's taken them. No, he hasn't. Gee, I thought he may have held that long enough to be awarded it then. Shows you how wrong you can be.
I think 9 times out of 10 it would be.
I think it was a wise decision. You've got to really get those hands around it, and on that occasion it wasn't a firm grip.
Thought he did.
Consistent with it.
That's right.
50 metres out. Swans pressing. East Fremantle on the defensive. Tap down to Shine. Hooks it high. Green goes for it. And they've just cribbed an extra few metres, Swan Districts. The score at the 19.5-minute mark, 13-8-86 East Fremantle, 14-9-93 Swans. Fabulous grand final. It'll be Johns and Harding over the top. Hand pass. Off they go. Wilson. He's caught this time. Lost the ball. And he thinks he's going to get it. No, he's been penalised for it. And it'll be Ahmed just forward of the left wing to take the kick.
His kick goes deep into the forward area. Browning underneath it takes a good mark. Good solid defence out towards the flank. Stephen Green, been a consistent player all day. Over the head of the pack. Chance for Rinstead. In towards half forward, and that's a good pass. Finds Holt. Oh, Holt did not steady. Has a shot to full forward, but it hasn't made it. But the kick's coming back. There's a bubble there. And the play's still going on out here, but the kick must go back to the umpire.
Bob, it's very obvious in this third quarter that Swan Districts are not working the ball into their forward line. They're just blazing away and kicking the ball high in the air.
Well, the free kick is what, going to Swans?
Yeah, East Fremantle, if they just keep playing football, hard, solid footing, they can do better.
Tony Solon taking it. Boots it long towards the forward area. From the back, Browning, not paid. Out towards the flank again. Stephen Green once more. Boots it to half forward. That's good play. Once more, it's Holt. He's 60 metres out of side. Holt kicks a long one towards full forward. Bennett's in there. Tony Solon, first in. Gets it out to Malula, who's backed him up well, and his kick goes to the half-forward line.
Malula underneath it. Fogarty's taken the mark. He's off. Neesham went to tap it on. Goes back to try and pick it up. Kimberley, gone. Too high.
Starting to look like the first quarter of that second semi.
Silly stuff by East Fremantle. If they just concentrate on playing football, they'll be okay.
Another bomb.
Big bomber to the forward line. Alexander from behind. Chance for Brad Shine. He's not through. Tries to get the hand pass away. That's Rankin maybe playing back in the back pocket. Cross comes Satori. Over the top of him went Browning.
I could understand Swan's tactics of just kicking it in high if Satori was at full forward, but they've got little fellas, Hutton and Marshall, and you're just playing into the defence's hands.
Sure are. So outside the 50-metre line, Alexander got the tap. Browning, a quick kick. It's going to be okay. That's Sterrett.
Geez, the legs look good for East Fremantle. They're fresh and running hard.
They are at the moment. It's Sterrett, a high kick over the wing. Not a good one. Or Don Langston may have hurt himself taking that mark.
Could be
Only a little short kick to Neesham. Oh, he took his eye off it as through came Wake. Wake has done it well. Oh, they both left it. Oh, Neesham with an elbow. Dear, oh dear, which wasn't seen.
He's hurt
Langsford played the mark. Look at him. And Neesham getting up groggily from that.
I think his elbow might have bounced back and hit himself.
Oh, to see him go in with the ball under one arm and you think he was going to take off the way the other one was flapping.
Good recovery from Neesham. The kick from Rance goes up towards Satori. Popped away towards a flank of Foreman. They're not giving in this defence. Oh, Sterrett. Couldn't see for the sun. It's brought in towards Narkle. Point of the square, Keith Narkle. Drives it towards full forward. Foreman.
Magnificent comeback by Foreman.
Yes, good recovery. Out goes Hutton. That's a good shepherd. Towards a flank, Wilson. He's playing the game of his life at the moment. Oh, with the kick, he set a push. And it's going to the black and whites.
Pretty hard to push and mark at the
Well,
same
I don't
time.
know how you could do that, but it's been paid. Johns has got it. Boots it back towards full forward. The high flyers are there. And from the back, it's Hutton.
Well, I give him top marks for taking that, but gee, what a dangerous way to pump the ball into the forward line. Hutton has come under tremendous pressure from the opposition. There's not much of him, but you've got to get Satori or Johns down there to give them a hand.
15 metres out, directly in front. He's kicked 4 today. He's kicked 78, so he's got 82 for the season at the moment.
Well, this has been East Fremantle's quarter going into the breeze. They've kicked 4 straight. Swans 3-1.
Kicking towards the Subiaco end. This will be a welcome goal for the black and whites. Give them breathing space, and he hasn't let them down.
Well, I believe that they need a lot more breathing space, so it's he's kicked their last 2 goals, Hutton, and he's kicked 5 for the game. A magnificent effort, but Swan Districts need to be 3 or 4 goals in front at three-quarter time to be in with a chance, I reckon. And we've played nearly 25 minutes, and it's Swan Districts 99, East Fremantle 86. So Swans lead by just 2 goals.
89 to 86, 25 and a bit minutes in. Neesham soccers off the ground, tapped on into the path of Kimberley. Across comes Wilson, hand pass away, strides out, runs well, socced off the ground by Waite. Narkle caught, loses the ball. And they are headhunting a bit East Fremantle, which is silly play.
They've just got to continue playing the ball.
Wilson appealing for the kick, but he's not going to get it. And Swan District's capitalising on this stuff from East Fremantle, and that's a good mark to Renstead. Now they've got to get somebody out on the far side of the ground to get the play flowing.
And they're in no hurry either.
Renstead, high kick to the wing. Mark, not paid. Oh, they call him to play on. Dear, oh dear. Skorowski, forward of the centre. Long kick into the forward line. Alexander spoils. Knocked away. This, though, is Browning for East Fremantle. Cool under pressure and puts a lovely pass onto the chest of Sterrett. What can East Fremantle get going? Sterrett looking for Waterson. Bounces off the knee. Through comes Rance. Over the top went Holt. Rance did it well, but Holt goes back in with courage, breaks the tackle. But it's going to be Hutton now for Swan Districts. He fires the ball out in the path of Brad Shine. Shine will get there and keep it in play. Kicks with the left foot, but kicks inaccurately.
What a game. 13 points or 14 points in favour of Swan Districts, and we've played 26 minutes of this third quarter.
The Sharks a little bit unlucky there. The bounce the ball went against them. Shane Ellis to kick the ball into play. He's got no leads at the moment. He's looking for one. Right up the centre. Oh, he's kicked it towards Johns, but he can't get it. Holmes can. Oh, he's pulled around the neck and must take the kick. Donny Holmes, he's kicked 4. He'll kick from about 55 metres out to the Subiaco end.
This will hang up in the square, and it's Satori versus Browning and Ron Alexander.
He knows where the goals are. He's kicked 64 of them. Long kick towards the square. Hutton up. And forced through once more for 1 point.
So Swan District score moves to 15-11-101. East Fremantle 13-8-86, and East Fremantle are kicking into the breeze.
Browning goes in short to Rankin, and Rankin had to take that because there was 3 on him.
It was confidence, wasn't it?
Oh yeah. Rankin, a high kick up to the wing. Chance for Wilson. He's gone to ground. Good use of the body by Taylor. And a push to Narkle. and they are giving away so many free kicks across that half-back line, or between the half-back line and the centre.
I think it could take its toll on Swans, but they'd be feeling fairly weary about it.
No, but they're keeping the ball in their forward line as Narkle kicks long. Ellis underneath it. Through comes Alexander, only as far as Neesham. 55 metres out, Neesham. Long kick, great kick, Neesham. And Swan's got that, and that's a good breather.
Yes, they work very, very hard, Swan Districts. It looked like for a long time they're going to battle to get over that half-forward line. Ron Alexander didn't bother to pick the ball up because of the pressure he was under and the ever-reliable Gerard Neesham. So Swan Districts in this quarter have kicked 5-3. East Fremantle 4 straight. Have Swan Districts. Have they got enough lead? They're 107 points, East Fremantle 86, and it's East Fremantle with the breeze in the last.
Well, the breeze is blowing almost over the ground, isn't it?
29-minute mark coming up. Alexander trying to get the blue and whites going in the centre. Out it goes. Nobody can pick it up cleanly. Hutton gets it. Looked like a push in the back, but it's play on. Satori uses the body. Puts it in towards full forward. It's in the square. This will be close. And fourth through once more for the minor score. Good defence.
Yes, and Swan Districts realise that in this time-on period they must convert a couple of chances.
Coming up to the 29.5-minute mark. There it is. Three-quarter time. Swan Districts 16-12. Lead East Fremantle 13-8. Well, there it is, the breeze towards which East Fremantle are kicking the final quarter of the 1984 grand final and what the season is all about. Basketball in the centre. As Taylor comes out with it, hoots along one towards half forward. Waterson underneath it. Doesn't bounce kindly for him. Out it goes towards a flank. Chance for Green. Into the pocket is Maluli. He's run it over the line.
Bob, very interesting to see the way they've structured their forward line in this last quarter. They've only got 2 players, Alexander and Bennett. And the rest of it's a big wide open space for their runners to go.
This first 10 minutes is going to be vital. Alexander gets it over the top. Who comes Ahmed over to Neesham. Neesham's experience down towards the centre. Good mark to Wake. Gavin Wake from the point of the square drives it towards full forward. Bennett in front, he's got 2 to beat. One of them's Maluli. The backup from Neesham, and Neesham kicks it to the wing.
The target there is Payton, but it's not a good kick.
Seemed like a tied one, didn't it?
Yep, and Rankin to bring it back into play. Well, will Swans tire? Will they keep going? Exciting prospects at the moment. Christie tries to go down. Out comes Rance. This is Narkle. He's got plenty left. Kick's not good though. Chance now for Rankin to come through. He's caught. This is Narkle once more into the park to shine. Swans mounting an attack. Oh, that's bad defensive play that time by East Fremantle. There's no one on the mark yet even.
I'm sure John Todd mentioned to the players that if East Fremantle can kick 4 into the breeze, so can we, because up to half-time only 1 goal had been scored down this end.
So this now is Satori. Richardson warming up to come on, and it looks like Armat's coming off. There's Satori's kick. It's a lovely long straight one. It's through, and Swans have got the first goal in this vital fourth quarter.
Well, that's a magic result for Swan Districts, the way they work the ball from defence. And Satori hasn't really had a big influence on the game. He's been playing mainly centre half forward, and Browning has been able to negate him. But that's an excellent mark and a fine goal, because Swan Districts now move to 17 goals, 12, 114. Each Fremantle 13, 8, 86. So a margin of 28 points.
Well, this 1984 is Swan District's 50th birthday. Can they come up with their 3rd premiership in a row? Centre of the ground. Fogarty gets it out, but it goes to Wake. He boots it back. Skorowski in front. Alexander a chance. Oh, he should have handballed it. Maluli back to Outridge. Langsford, they get out of trouble well in defence.
Oh,
Solon, which way will it bounce?
Langsford's gone straight into the fence.
Backed it up again, the umpire's pulled it up.
Look at Langsford too.
Yes, he's in trouble. The free kick's going to East.
Looks like Renstead, I think.
Yes, out there on the far side, Murray Renstead, he's just over the 50-metre mark. If he can get it into the square, the blue and whites have got a chance. Oh, not a good kick. The big blokes are there. That was a doubtful mark, and it's been paid to Murray Rance at a critical stage of the game.
You said it earlier, the umpires must be consistent with those sort of marks.
They weren't then.
No.
And that's to Narkle. Narkle chips it out wide to Caton. They've got loose men at the moment, Swans. They're looking the part. Wilson's in a bit of trouble as Caton goes away from him. Not a good hand pass into the partner Holmes. As through comes East Fremantle. This is Shane Ellis. Hand pass out to Wilson. Wilson, unloads a big one. Kick it in front. Takes a beauty. And Maluli ran into him.
Right. Well, Wilson's coming off the ground. Kickett's down. But Wilson, what a loss to East Fremantle, the player that did so much in that third quarter.
He got backed into by Tom Maluli.
He's cramped up, Wilson. Whew. So they're a man down. Kickett's on his feet.
One of their real runners, Wilson.
Yeah. And he was one of the reasons that East Fremantle got back into the game. Kickett, 45 metres. It's a long, high kick. Looks okay. It is. And the game's still on here.
Well, Graham Kickett, that was a real pressure kick because Swan Districts opened the quarter up with the first goal, and that's Kickett's 13th. Oh, sorry, his third goal. He's kicked their 5th, 13th and 14th, and East Fremantle 14 goals, 8, 92. Swan Districts 17 goals, 12, 114.
5-minute mark coming up. Critical stage of the game. There's Wilson there. Played a very good game since quarter time. Back in the centre, Kimberley can't get his foot to the ball. Out it comes to Sterrett, been a pretty handy player since he come on. Kicked it short to Waterson. Has he got the pace? He's got the ball. Kicks it up towards the flank. Skorowski in front. Close to the line with him is Taylor. He's taken him down. Not holding the ball. It's a throw-in.
Dear, oh dear.
Little love match going on over there.
Kevin Taylor hasn't done very well out of the umpires today.
That was a good tackle too from Kevin Taylor. Johns, Alexander to the ground, Rance. He's tackled. Brought to the ground, no kick. Back it goes to the centre. Michael Brennan gathers it in. Hasn't got the backup. Wake comes in now. Winstead. Undecided. Oh, they're fiddling East. Back to Wake. He goes short to Ellis. Outreach from the back. Oh, not paid. Neesham. Back to Kimberley.
And off goes Swan Districts through Barry Kimberley towards half forward. Christie goes back, takes the mark and a thump as well.
It's going from half-back line to half-back line.
2 players on that left-hand side of the ground.
Unbelievable game. George Christie goes into the centre of the ground. A high kick. Should be all Swan Districts. Rance over the top. Neesham from behind. Hand pass to Skorowski. He in turn to Fogarty. Fogarty up high looking for Richardson. Knocked away from him by Christie. Richardson recovers. Will use the left foot. Makes plenty of distance. It's rolling towards the goals. Back go the East Fremantle defence led by Harding. Harding hooks high. Wake from behind. Thumps it away that time from Brad Shine. And Swan Districts are in attack.
Hasn't Gavin Wake proved that he's got a tremendous temperament in these finals? He's been a real success.
92 to 114, 7 minutes in. Richardson, wild old kick. Foreman comes across and takes a strong mark. So Foreman doesn't quite get onto that. That's a mark to Caton because of the crucial moment. John Nolan slipped.
There's Kevin Caton. He's already played in one premiership side this year at Darwin. Will he play in 2? There's a lead from Marshall.
Oh.
A little bit of fiddling around. A good mark to Stephen Green.
Swans haven't got any height in the forward line.
No.
Been a pretty solid player, the school teacher, as he boots it towards the centre. Ellis is out of position. He said he was holding Fogarty.
This is going to be a real grind this last quarter.
John Fogarty from the point of the square. Neesham on his own, as he has been since he come on, and takes another mark, but they haven't gained any meterage.
Looks like Kickett is coming off and Holt going back on.
Jared Neesham towards full forward. Hutton in front. Oh, look at those arms of Hutton. A great grab from the full forward.
What a magnificent performance in this grand final from the leading goal scorer. He's kicked 5. Big chance for his 6th. And East Fremantle have lost 2 real class players through injury.
114 to 92.
Wilson and now Kickett.
At the 8-minute, 16-second mark coming up as Hutton takes this shot to the city end. Long high kick. Offline, minus goal.
Well, there's no doubt about it. You can kick goals into that breeze. And Swan Districts and East Fremantle are tussling out a magnificent game.
Yes, we're 8.5 minutes into the final quarter, and it's 92 to 115 as Foreman kicks in long. Nice pass to Renstead. Renstead off the half-back line, goes in short to Christie. He's just backward of left centre wing. Long kick from him, trying to get something going. Waterson in front, knocked away. Out comes Caton with the ball. In trouble, out of trouble. To Neesham now. Neesham on the far side of the ground has Narkle available.
Neesham is having a huge influence on this game. He's positioning himself and he's the general midfield.
Doing it well. Narkle right on the right wing. He sees a short lead. Wake far too early over the top. Brad Shine caught. Marshall tries to come through. Off goes Harding now for East Fremantle. He hits it long. And a fine mark. Oh, it's been paid, yes, to Don Langsford.
Oh, he keeps on his feet. He's copped a couple of nasty knocks. He went into the fence just a minute ago.
Langsford's kick. Again, high to the forward line. Nolan in front. It's kick to kick at the moment. Nolan, the quick hand pass off to Renstead. Renstead unloads a big one. Roger Kerr waited back sillily, and the mark was taken by Atkins, and he's given it to Neesham.
Yes, he was waiting for the big blokes to come in, but they weren't there. There's a good solid mark to Wake. He's doing well. Half-back flank goes back to the centre. Oh, it's a good kick over the centre line. Looking for Alexander. Can't pick it up. They're losing out on the ground at the moment, the blue and whites. Look at that scramble. Rance is in there. Alexander kicks it to half forward. Kerr's going to wait for it. Solomon! Great mark, Tony Solomon.
He's become known for those tremendous high marks. He was down last week, but he's not down this week.
Another player for Swans who's played in 2 successive grand finals. And that's a great mark to Satori. Come right up to the centre to take that one. The reliable Fogarty towards Shine. With him as Wake. Shine paid the mark. Well, that's a doubtful one.
They're not consistent.
Bradley Shine goes inboard. Bad defensive play there, and Murray Rance is taken.
Swan Districts have benefited from these marks being paid by the umpire.
Yes, they have.
Another pass from Rance goes to Marshall, and he'll kick from just about the 50-metre line. And 92 to 115 in favour of Swans, just over the 11-minute mark.
Geez, if he can kick this goal, I tell you what, the margin gets stretched to nearly 30 points.
Pretty hard. Marshall lining it up. Won't make the distance. And tucks through for the minus goal.
So it's 116 to 92 and 11.5 minutes gone in the last quarter.
We know East Fremantle can fight back. They proved that in the second quarter.
They've got to get something going now, though. Alexander, big one into the middle of the ground. Ellis underneath that. Too many up for East Fremantle. Swans all weighted down. They're in trouble now, East Fremantle. Marshall from 45 metres out. That's going to make it hard. Oh, he's missed.
Well, it was a dreadful kick from John Alexander. He's not used to kicking out of full back, but he just kicked a high mongrel right down in the full face of goal.
So Foreman will take this kick in. Again goes high. Marshall behind. Did well to spoil. Chance for Shine. They're bombing away at the moment, Swans. It's a better looking kick from Shine, and that's going to make it hard for East Fremantle at the 12-minute mark.
Bulldog Shine, the Simpson-mentalist last year, has kicked 4 goals for Swan Districts. He's never stopped trying. He's a magnificent competitor, and Wake on him has played a good game. So 4 goals off his own boot. He's shouting encouragement, and Swan Districts stretch their lead. They now lead by 31 points.
The final quarter in the 84 grand final. Can East Fremantle come back? Neesham, a dangerous player. Through goes Holt. Chance for Rankin. Oh, not a good kick. Finds Maluli.
Swans have been there and done it.
Yep, I think that's the difference at the moment.
Skorowski experience starting to show out now. Langsford, all their experienced players taking control. And it goes to Kimberley, being a grand player. He can't reach it, and the ball's gone out of play.
Well, there's no doubt Swan Districts, the trademark of their footballers, they produce their best in a crisis. They're not in a crisis now, but I reckon they can see the finishing line, and they're doing it very well.
Throwing in front of the members. Nolan's in there with Satori. Satori gets it down to Kimberley, and he kicks to half forward.
And off they go again, Swan Districts. Bumped away well by Shane Ellis. Doesn't bounce for Taylor, and he just unloads John straight to the ground, but this enables Langsford in. He kicks out wide. Race on here. Look at Kimberley go. Wake trying to close, but can't get there. Does so now, but not before Kimberley gets his kick. That's Sterrett emerging for East Fremantle after Richardson tried to knock it on. And a good pass to Kevin Taylor. He's got to get going. Does. The lead is on from Watterson. And Malili's going to clear. Looked as if it could have been in the back. But anyway, the mark's been taken up there by Johnny Nolan. Trying to get something going for his side now. Nolan to Green. Oh, in all sorts of trouble. Out of it. Left foot by Green. And the mark by Watterson. No. Watterson dives back in on the ball. And the umpire decides that he'll bounce 45 metres out.
A little bit unlucky then, Colin Watterson.
Just squeezed out at the last moment, but they're not being favoured by some decisions either, East Fremantle.
Big pack of players around the ball. Neesham at ground level. Oh, he's tackled hard. Play on. Roger Kerr, 50 metres out. Screws it in towards full forward. Where are the East Fremantle forwards? They're not there at the moment, and Bill Skorowski takes it.
What a finals player Skorowski is.
Yep.
There he goes out towards the far flank, and Mr. Dependable again, Don Langsford. In front of Don Holmes, half-back flank. Holmes gets the kick. It's very close to the line. Oh, it's going back to Holmes.
It's unbelievable.
Yes, they're having a bad trot at the moment, East, but Donny Holmes has got it on the half-back line. He kicks it towards the centre. Wake's in there. He's battling hard, so has Kimberley, been a good player. Picked up by Rankin. Back to half forward. Oh, Roger Kerr is the only one there for the Blue and Whites. It's still in their territory. Holding the ball against Green. Yes.
That was on.
Yeah, that one was on for sure as Narkle puts the ball up to half forward. Through comes Satori. He's bumped off the ball. Browning caught. Tried to get the hand pass away to Nolan. And East Fremantle get a kick.
They're up the wrong end.
Nolan, high kick, looking for Shane Ellis. Thumped to the ground. Swans have got the runners with the fall of the ball. That's Holmes to Neesham. Neesham out wide to Hutton. Hutton after. Foreman closing. Does it well to take it off Hutton. Now he's caught. No one to help him.
He obviously handballed it. We couldn't tell from here.
He must have hand passed that one away because Foreman's got the kick.
Well, Swans are travelling on pure spirit. They're just working them. It's got to be the hardest and longest quarter they've had.
And that's over the back. And Sterrett to take the ball. Plays on quickly. Long high kick into the forward line. Alexander and Solon. It's missed the pair of them. Alexander tries to get the tap down. Taylor, but it's run through by Swan Districts. Skorowski it was. And it's now 93 to 123.
So 30 points in front, Swan Districts. 5 goals.
Time for the Blue and Whites to get up if they're good enough. Tom Baluli takes it to himself. Then goes Long, the experienced player, puts it out towards the flank. Fogarty, Holmes is tackled. Oh, it's got that man backing up. This time it's Solon. Back to Fogarty. Good solid mark.
They're just playing with so much know-how, Bob.
Yes, John Fogarty and all those experienced players are using their body. They've played in 2 premiership sides. They know what it's all about. Don Holmes.
It's East Fremantle that have lost all the legs.
Right centre wing, Satori.
I reckon that'd be in the mind because they had to be the fresher side.
Into Satori. Ooh, not a good kick. Gavin Wade in front, and he's doing a pretty good job down there. Stephen Green, got no leads. The smother, backed up by Green. Holt, shepherded by Watterson. He's gone into the pocket looking for Taylor. But he's too wide and it's out of play.
Taylor can't raise a trot.
And tired legs kicked short and looked short. And that's what's happening from both sides, but it's Swan Districts with a 30-point lead.
At the 18-minute mark, they're looking pretty good. 18 minutes gone. Alexander. Chance for Taylor. Neesham and Sterrett. Taylor, snapshot, wide.
Well, they can't afford to miss one shot from here to get back that lead. So the margin now 29 points in favour of Swan Districts, and we've played nearly 18 and a half minutes.
Langsford kicks in, and you shouldn't allow a player to get that much by himself, is what Murray Rance is there. He's got Holmes available. Holmes will mark. I really do believe it's Swan Districts who are finishing far stronger. Holmes to another experienced campaigner, Fogarty. Fogarty a long one into the forward line. And that's intelligent play as he hits it over to the side to try and find touch. Although Browning, dreadful, tired legs.
Swans are playing like winners. Obviously, Toddy said, do you want to be part of history? Because this is the second hat-trick facing Swan Districts. So premierships. 94 to 123. Here they go now, East Fremantle. This is Rankin with the ball. Kicks it awkwardly into the forward line. Knocked on. Out comes Maluli. Backs himself. Tries to tap it away. Kerr doesn't know where the ball is. This is Outridge. Oh, Taylor just ran straight past him as Outridge is given it onto the chest of Neesham.
There's Neesham, cool as ever. Drives it towards the centre of the ground. Langsford. Holmes, he's running all over the ground in this last quarter. He's got Marshall. That's the way it goes, and Marshall takes them out.
Oh, and there's a ridiculous free kick.
15-metre penalty.
Well, John Todd said after the game last week that this is the most courageous side he has ever coached, and he's coached a lot of top sides, and they're just proving it again in this last quarter. They're wrapping up the 84 grand final.
Just on the 20-minute mark, and if you needed a sealer, I think this one's it, 123 to 94. Marshall has put it through. Or has he? No, he has missed. 1 point.
And they can afford to miss.
Yes, yep. Well, East Fremantle have won 25 premierships, Swans 5, but they won the 61, 62 and 63, and they could make it 3 in a row now.
That's Browning kicking the ball into the play, and Brennan, whom we haven't seen a lot of, takes it. He's gone in short. Could have been dangerous, but it's okay. George Christie with the ball. Off he goes. Caught. Bad play by East Fremantle, from which Swan Districts will capitalise. That's the sealer. That's the one that's going to win it for Swan Districts.
Well, I think they'd won it before that one, but Donny Holmes, what a performance. That's his 5th goal. A great effort. And East Fremantle have dropped all walk. There's another tired kick. No, he doesn't get his foot to it because he's just hanging onto it far too long. And there it is. The margin now is 36 points, 6 goals in favour of Swan Districts, and we've played 21 minutes of this final quarter.
Bounce down in the centre. Alexander and Johns. Well, East Fremantle might be beaten, but they're not given up. Sterrett out to Holt. Holt a long one towards full forward, looking for Bennett. Bennett in front and takes them out.
And what a good player he's going to be. But Tom Maluli has really kept the lid on him in this grand final. He was a match winner with 7-1. Bennett started off on him, and then Tom Maluli, the experienced full-back.
Darren Bennett, only about 20 metres out, puts it through for 4 points.
Well, it's a good effort from Bennett. That's his 4th goal for the match. He certainly hasn't let the East Fremantle side down, but Swan Districts are just playing on pure courage in this last quarter. They've got to be the most tired, but they're just playing from memory. They're winners, and East Fremantle moved to 15-10-100. Swan Districts 19-16-130. So 5 clear goals in front, and we've played 22 minutes of the final quarter.
This quarter, Swan Districts have kicked 3 goals, and East Fremantle have managed 2.
And Mick Ball has cramped, one of the field umpires.
Alexander versus Johns. Wait the opportunity. Here comes Richardson for Swans, though. They're irrepressible as they start to march towards victory. Long kick into the forward line, and a mark taken.
Oh,
Mark not taken. Lord Nolan had taken the mark, but if the whistle doesn't blow, you play on. Brad Shine whips it through for a goal.
Well, luck's a fortune. I reckon East Fremantle have done badly, but Brad Shine could be looking at another Simpson medal because he's been a 4-quarter player for Swan Districts. Gee, look how quick he is to seize upon it. Brad Shine has kicked his 5th goal for the game.
It's his birthday next week, and I think he's had one out there today. Well, black and whites are going on with it, 2016 to 15-10. 23 and a half minutes coming up.
You can relax, Toddy.
And the black and whites have got 9 players out there who played in the last 2 premiership sides, so they look like playing in 3, which is a great achievement for any player. Neesham going on with the game. Half-forward line. Helped by Satori. There he is again. Shine. But the kick's got to go back.
Well, at three-quarter time, how could you possibly say that Swan Districts would finish the stronger? You've got to give it to the master coach, John Todd, and his players.
Peter Satori, there he is again, all on his own, Neesham.
This bloke's had an unbelievable influence in the second half. He started the game off on the interchange bench.
Yep.
The midfield general.
Gerard Neesham, and he's 151st. He'll kick from the 50-metre line. Been a great acquisition to the black and white since he's gone there. He goes across to Kimberley, another good player, look at that.
What a beautiful use of the ball.
Well, that just shows you the ascendancy of the black and whites in this last quarter.
People say Gerard Neesham lacks pace, but he's got a magnificent football brain, perfect use of the body, and he's hard. 30
metres out, Barry. Kimberley's had a great season, has not kicked a goal, and he hasn't kicked one yet.
Okay, it's 137 to 100. We're almost into the time-on period. 24 minutes gone.
Let's not forget East Fremantle's performance either. It's been magnificent comeback.
Sure has. Foreman kicks in. It's into the centre of the ground. This is Fogarty though for Swans. There he is again, Brad Shine. Shine, left foot kick is magnificent. Satori didn't have the break stride.
They loved Subiaco Oval during the month of September, Swan Districts.
Have a look at this.
And
Shine,
this is
plunked right on the chest.
And it's their golden jubilee. What a celebration it's going to be at Bassendean tonight.
Satori, 45 metres out. I don't know.
Missed.
I think he has. Yep, far side. I fear it matters not though. It's 138 to 100.
And we're into time on. 25 and a half minutes have been played.
So Browning kicks the ball to himself. Now has to kick left foot, which he does well. Renstead in the middle. Shane Ellis tried to tap it on. Now has. This is Renstead to Foreman. Foreman, oh dear, outline.
Let's salute him too. He's come back magnificently, and what a hard act to follow East Fremantle having to repeat what they did in that second semi. A lot of people said they may have played their grand final.
He came up to kick a goal. Tom Maluli taken now, kicks it back towards the centre. John Fogarty, not paid. Holt. Then Holt drives it back. Oh, it's not a good kick. Taken by Johns. Skorowski. Should have tackled him instead. It's gone to Langsford. Foreman. We'll have to hurry. He's gone. Picked up by Holmes. They got legs, the black and whites at the moment. There goes the flying Holmes at the moment. Puts it down towards Marshall. Browning's in there too. Shine trying to get it. Alexander. Kicking it back to the centre. Shane Ellis.
And Ellis will take the kick between wing and centre. It's a short one. Too far for Stephen Green, but he'll run onto it. He's got to try and get round, which he's done. Narkle going back with Harding. Harding has the ball, but he's almost in an impossible angle. In fact, kicks backwards towards the centre, intelligently finding Stephen Green.
Swan's playing on sheer courage.
Absolutely, as Green kicks in. Bennett the opportunity, has possession. And pass back to Rankin. Rankin keeping the ball out in front of him. He's about 45 metres out. Oh, he hooks the right foot, but it won't come round enough.
Well, in this final quarter, Swan Districts have kicked 4-4. East Fremantle 1-3. And they trail by 32 points, East Fremantle.
There's the kick into play, which has been marked by Langsford. Not much time left. We're 27 and a half minutes into the final quarter. And that's Satori with the ball.
Take as long as you like.
He will. Satori coming out to the half-back line. Fogarty in front and over the top Rance.
Oh. One of his players to move downfield, I think.
Yeah, he was indicating that he wanted to move further down the field. So he's given it across to Outridge, and they're just using the ball now, Swans, but that one's come unstuck. Ellis had it. Green, now to Harding. Harding from 25 metres out, shoots. I think he's missed. Yes, he has.
Well, Paul Harding is in this game, has been kept in cotton wool again. Hardly been used on the ball.
The blue and white's not doing much at the moment, but the Swans going on with their third premiership in a row, and as we said before, what a great celebration after the birthday of 50 years. Fogarty in front, still got him. Rance again. Captain Keith Narkle had another great season after 14 years, kicks it towards half forward, over the head of everybody. Marshall's in there, so is Nolan. Scoops it out the back to Christie. They're still fighting on. Holt, Wake, right centre wing, Gavin Wake, goes for the long one. Satori setting himself and takes a great mark on the half-back line.
Share the ball.
Over to Gavin Outridge. He's got Neesham loose. He's got Kimberley loose. He's been all day on his own. Neesham he's got if he wants him. He doesn't. Goes long towards Holmes. It's on the half-forward line. Don Holmes is battling two. One of them's Brennan. In comes Neesham to lend a hand. Back it goes to Holmes. He's about 65 metres out. Puts it into the pocket and he's put it out of play.
So the score at the moment, 29 and a half minutes into the final quarter. It looks like Swan's grand final, 2018, 138, 15-12, 102. Opportunity now for Barry Kimberley, who's been a great footballer.
Hotties come down to the race.
John Todd, you can hear, is down at the race. The crowd have gone mad. Marshall has the ball. Marshall gives it to Narkle. There's the siren. 1984 grand final has been won by Swan Districts. Final score 2018 138 to East Fremantle's 15-11 101. A magnificent game of football. Absolutely superb.
And that's the way they did it. The Black and Whites winning their third premiership in a row. They won the 1984 flag, and they did it in fine style too. If you have a look at the goal kickers, an even spread for Swans. Hutton, Holmes and Shine all booting 5 goals, and Marshall kicked 2. For East Fremantle, Bennett, good performance with 5. Taylor with 4 and managed to get himself booked during the course of the game as well. And Kickett and Waterson also booted 2. Best players for Swan Districts, Shine, Rance, Kimberley, who was the Simpson medalist, Holmes, Neesham and Langsford. And for East Fremantle, Renstead, Wilson, Taylor, Rankin, Browning and Green. Well, after the game, once again, the WA Football League organised a news conference involving both coaches, the victorious John Todd and the vanquished Ron Alexander. And here's what both men had to say.
3 in a row, that must be quite a feeling.
Yeah, it is a feeling. It probably won't sink in, possibly won't sink in until later on, but yeah, I'm proud of them. They deserve their victory. They've worked hard all the year, and you know, naturally it's something that to win 3 in a row, they've created history, and a little bit of history will never ever be taken away from them, so it's great.
How does this one stand out from the other 2?
Well, the first one after 19 years was great. Last year was a bit of an anticlimax to me, but this one I think really tops them all off. I think just by coming from where we had to come from, and the players we've lost and the coach that they've shown has been absolutely great.
What about John Todd in 1985?
I'm going to get, who knows? I may be dead by then. Thanks very much.
Ron, disappointing obviously, but it was a tremendous effort to come back from 10 goals down at quarter time.
Yeah, tremendous effort's not good enough. You know, I'm proud of our players. They're great people. You can't give people 10-goal starts.
Swans too good on the day, do you think, or?
Look, I really don't. Obviously, yes, they won the grand final. Well done, Swans. But the tension amongst our players in that first quarter, our minds weren't on the job, and you know, that's finals experience, grand finals experience, and good luck to them.
At half-time, the adrenaline must have really been pumping after a 9-goal second quarter. What did you say to the players then?
We just asked them to play basic football, do what they're good at, and they did. They did their best, and as I said, we outscored them for 3 quarters. You can't give people a 10-goal start. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Ron.
Yes, Ron Alexander certainly hitting the nail on the head. You cannot give teams a 10-goal start. And they were the words that John Todd and Ron Alexander had to say to our reporters just before they then both went into the news conference, and well, there was more of the same that followed later. An exultant coach, John Todd, and a very, very disappointed captain coach in Ron Alexander. Anyway, that, as they say, is showbiz, and congratulations to Swan Districts. Well, over in Victoria today, the preliminary final took place, and if ever there was an anticlimax, that was it. The scores: Essendon 28 goals 6, 174 to Collingwood 5 goals 11, 41. So all that means that the grand final is to be held next Saturday at the MCG, involving Hawthorn trying to win back-to-back premierships and defeating Hawthorn in so doing. The Hawks, of course, have a psychological edge over Essendon, having beaten them last weekend and also having defeated them in last year's grand final. And that game you can see live on Channel 7 next week. And I'm sure we're all going to be sitting around our television sets enjoying that. If you can't make it to a television set, a reminder that 6IX will be broadcasting the game ball by ball. Well, all good things come to an end, and I guess it's time to say goodbye from Seven's Big League for 1984. There's so many people to thank that obviously we can't go through all these names, but to all the people that have produced the show and directed the show and been associated with the program throughout the year, thanks to everybody. And a particular thanks to our sponsors, NEC, in particular State Manager Neville Manley. I know he's a very happy man tonight because Subiaco won at least one flag, and that was the reserves. We do thank them for their contribution this year and all the wonderful prizes that they gave away. Don't forget, World of Sport tomorrow will be conducted from Bassendean Oval, and that'll be packed to the rafters with members and their friends tomorrow, no doubt. And Peter Waltham and the boys will be out there to analyse just what happened in today's 1984 grand final. Thanks for joining us throughout the season, and you know, it's only about 23, 24 weeks to the start of next year. Look forward to your company then. Bye now.